Hi everybody and welcome to my channel. In this series called Take the Leap, I talk to people who have worked up the courage to take the leap into a non-traditional career that adapts and enhances their life. These people have found a way to do what they love from the comfort of their own home. And in today's episode, I would like to introduce you to Annie Nguyen. She's a good friend of mine and now she works with me. In October last year, Annie left her corporate job and joined me into digital nomad life as Outsourcing Angel's marketing manager. And I'm excited to talk to her about her change of career and what made her take the leap. In Annie's corporate career, she worked in marketing executive roles and her primary goal was to climb the corporate ladder and make more money. After doing that and ticking off her goals for 10 years, she later realized that it was costing her happiness and her work-life balance. She is still able to use her marketing knowledge and skills but can work from wherever she takes her laptop, allowing her to also be a travel blogger on Instagram as Annie's bucket list. So everyone, let's welcome Annie. So welcome Annie.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. So let's talk about your corporate life. Like, what was it, how was it, and what made you take the leap?
It was boring. No, I really loved my job, and the career path that I chose for myself was because of my interests. I love digital and I love marketing, and that's what I was doing. So I loved that aspect of it, but because it was a corporate job and it was 9 to 5 being stuck in an office every day, I didn't love it, I didn't hate it, I was just used to it and going through the motions. It's you wake up, you go to work, you sleep, you repeat, and it was kind of got to a point where I thought, is this what you want to do for the rest of your life? Were you put on this earth just to go to work, save money, and then work your whole life in a job that you didn't really love? So that's what it was like working in a corporate job, which I'm sure a lot of people can relate to.
So how was it when you were getting better pay, more money? Why wasn't that enough?
I think when you first start working in your job, you just think how can I, where do I see myself in 5 years? And you just think, I want to work myself up to this role and then that role and that role. And I just thought that was the only way to progress. And then I guess once you reach that goal and then you reach another goal and then you just keep thinking to yourself, I'm never 100% happy.
Yeah, because money isn't happiness at the end of the day.
Money isn't everything. For some people, maybe they think money is everything, and then they look at what they sacrificed in order to get there. And for me, it was sacrificing my work-life balance, my social life. I was working myself to the ground pretty much.
Yes.
I would wake up early, be the first person at the office, last person to leave, so dedicated to my job and climbing the corporate ladder, and then getting job offers that I thought that was my dream. That's what I always wanted to do. And then getting there and realizing that I sacrificed all these other things, I wasn't actually happy on the inside. That's when I thought I needed to make a change.
So why do you think a lot of companies don't allow that sort of you can just all work from home? They want you to be sitting in their office.
Yeah, I have worked in offices that did start off wanting to have that flexibility, so they started introducing you can work from home. And then when more people started working from home, a lot of people took advantage of it, and then people had their trust lost in employees, and then you just started feeling guilty for being working from home. Even if you were getting the job done, people just thought that you weren't. And that's mainly because you need to have the right mindset in order to have motivation to work from home. I knew myself that I had that mindset and I had that motivation and drive, but not everybody does. So people can take advantage of the system. But that's just because a lot of them have always worked in a corporate job. And
they also, this is a little holiday for me. It's sort of not a normal thing. But when you hire someone and it is a home-based job, they would have looked at it a different way.
And they're used to working in that environment and not being distracted by things at home because their mindset is at work. So it's a completely different way of thinking. So what made you take the leap? Is it, because I know you personally and I know you're getting married and you're having kids. Is that the main reason why things got more serious for you in terms of that decision? There's a lot of factors, I guess. You played a role in it. teaching me like this virtual life is like how you get that work-life balance and fill that gap in your life. So I did feel like I had this gap in my life that I wanted to fill, and I thought about the future, and I thought about the places that I wanted to go and things that I wanted to do, and then having a family and all of that. How would I balance that with being like a marketing manager for a huge company? I didn't have that work-life balance already. How was I going to manage that in the long run? And on top of the stresses of work as well, because I wasn't really happy in my workplace and there were things happening at home and I couldn't be home to be with my family, everything was building on top. And then I started like suffering from really bad like anxiety, and I had to take time off work. I was forced to take time off work, and having that time to myself, I just thought like, is it all worth it? No, it's not. And talking to you, like, you're always happy. You think of Lynn and you think of like your big smile and you're always laughing and you're bubbly and you're happy, and that's because you've got that work-life balance that everyone is looking for. So I'm like happy that I had someone to turn to, and then you were able to guide me and lead me to the path of like being a digital nomad. But not everyone thinks that that's possible.
So, okay, so what was your belief back then, like when you didn't take the leap yet? You know, what did you tell yourself that made you still stay where you were?
I told myself that in order to be successful, then I had to be at the top tier in like whatever role that I was working in, and be managing like a whole team of people in an office. And that was the only way that I validated myself. That was what I was always told by, I guess, family growing up. Like, you work in marketing, so being a manager and being at the top of the corporate ladder, that would be like, that means that you're successful. That's what I kept telling myself. But success doesn't just mean that. It's so many other things. It's being happy with your life and happy with how you spend your time and being able to design your life the way you want it. So I think it's not until you get to that point that you realize that this is not what defines success for me. It's maybe what other people have been telling me, but it's not what I think it is.
I mean, I guess, you know, we all have to go through that journey where we think money will make us happy, and then we work hard only to realize it doesn't. And I guess like we, as much as we want people to go, oh, just go work from home, I guess they have to experience, sometimes we have to experience it ourselves to know, okay, you know, working 9 to 5 isn't as good as what I thought it would be. And it happened to me as well, where I'm like, I thought I was looking forward to being an adult, but then when I got a job, I was still acting like a child, you know, like going to work at the same time, going home at the same time, calling in, I'm sick, you know, that whole thing. You feel like you're a child to an adult, you know, your boss is your parent, if you know what I mean. So tell me about your life now. So like you mentioned before, you couldn't be there for your family. Like, how is life like now with all that?
I think now, because I have that flexibility of like being able to plan my day and being able to be there for my family if they suddenly need me, like I have that peace of mind that I can be present in all aspects of my life. So I can be present at work, and I know like these are the things I need to tick off this week. But then if I suddenly like have an errand to run, or if somebody needs me, then I can just, okay, I'll stop this right now and I'll just look after that urgent thing first, and then I can come back to this in my own time, rather than being stuck at work and then having to ask permission to do every single little thing, and then being given that freedom, and you kind of feel like resentment to your job as well. Like, why don't they understand, and why don't they trust me? Why don't they let me have that flexibility? And then it makes you ungrateful for your job. Whereas like having this work-life balance makes you so grateful.
I mean, you even go to the gym in the middle of the day, right? Whereas normally you would have to go after work or late at night.
And you can relate to going to the gym and not having anybody there and thinking like, this is so
because if everyone goes at the same peak time, you can't even get your
everyone's there like before work, during lunchtime, or after work, and when we're there like during off-peak hours, we're like, this is so good.
I still pinch myself to this day when I get to attend one of my daughter's activity or sort of random thing I need to attend to, and I'm just like being able to quickly adapt to life, and not being able, not be feeling forced that you have to go to work. So that's really great. So why do you think some people just are so scared to take the leap? Like, why were you so scared of taking that leap originally?
It's just not something that a lot of people know about, and they don't know whether or not that transition is worth the risk, because everyone thinks that it's risky, whereas being in an office is more safe. And that's because most people that you know, they work in an office, so it is the safe option, having that like 9 to 5 desk job that you know about and you know that everyone else is doing, whereas not a lot of people know any like digital nomads, or they may know some freelancers and think that person's very bold and brave, but I'm not like that.
Yeah.
It's just a limiting belief.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've also have been an Instagram blogger. Tell us more about that sort of career. And I mean, because that's also something that you can do online and anywhere.
Yeah, I guess that was also another aspect of why I wanted to start working online. So I have like an Instagram channel, and throughout the week I might get brands contacting me saying, hey, we really want to work with you. The deadline is this date, but they don't realize that I'm stuck in an office 9 to 5 and I can't make their deadlines, or I can't commit to that job. Whereas now, if I'm working on my laptop and then someone approaches me wanting to work with me for on Instagram, I can work that into my schedule and I can still get my work done, and I don't need to feel bad or ask for time off and then just forfeit a whole day of work.
Yeah.
I can just pop out for like 30 minutes or like an hour or whatever that I need, take those pictures and get that work done, and then go back to my desk and then continue my day. Yeah,
I think it comes down to as an employer, you also need to just trust your employee, and knowing that it's not about the quantity of hours, and you know, making sure that they're always on their laptop, because it's really about the output. Like, I know that whatever task I've given you, it still gets done. You know, regardless of you going to the gym, doing whatever you need to do for your family, the output is still there. So it really doesn't matter if you are literally in the same spot the whole 8 hours of the day. So I think as an employee, if you are watching this and you own a business, if you do want to start to hire virtual employees, you just need to understand that it's about the quality of the hours, not the quantity, in order to make this kind of thing work. And if you are looking for a job like this, you know, you want to find some employer who's going to be able to trust you and give you that flexibility, because it will be harder even if you work from home, but you work for an employer that is like can't trust you or micromanage, then it still won't be happy. Yeah.
And when you get that trust from someone, like whether it be a colleague or a friend, when you feel trust from someone, you don't want to let them down.
Yes.
If you've got a conscience, you don't want to let them down, you know? So if somebody is constantly like breathing down your neck, then you're going to be annoyed and frustrated and not happy. But if someone trusts you, you don't want to do wrong by them. So that's why like having that work-life balance makes people so much happier and more dedicated to their job. Yeah.
Okay. So if you had to give one last piece of advice to someone that are like, okay, I am sick of my corporate job and I'm going to take that leap, what's the next step that they should do now?
This is like your advice, actually, because it was too scary for me to just take that leap right away, but just list down all your different options. So whether it be like, maybe I can ask my current workplace to work part-time, and then the other part-time I use it on my digital job and have that laptop life. Then you can get a taste of both and then figure out what you want. And what your option B could be is to, I don't know, just be a contractor for that job. And there's just all these different options depending on what your current role is, on how you can take steps to get there if you're too scared to just quit work right away. But if you never have those conversations or list down all your different options on how to get there to do your dream like digital nomad job, if that's what you want, then you just never do it.
And you feel a bit overwhelmed and scared because you can't see an actionable step.
And it's like, it's progress, not perfection.
Yes.
It's like every little step counts. Don't just think, I need to make that huge leap. It's like, I can do that leap if I do A, B, C, D, E to get there.
Yes. I guess the other thing you reminded me that I got you to do is work out your current expenses and what you really need to live on, so that you could really work out like, how much do I really need, you know? Like, yes, my job might be paying me this much, but how much can I strip it down? And if I was to find a job that online that paid me this much, can I live with that? And work around that plan. So it's more clarity, I guess.
More clarity, figuring out like, worst case scenario, if this happens, how will I survive? And then once you feel safe, like you've got a plan and you know that you'll be okay, then you're ready to do the next step.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is that at Outsourcing Angel, we're actually thinking about expanding to helping virtual staff from anywhere to get employment with companies that are willing to work with virtual staff. So if you are watching this and you're interested in a home-based job, then do visit our website and apply for a job with us. And yeah, we'll be venturing into helping you find employment online.
We'll be best friends.
Yeah. So thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions for us, please feel free to put the comments below. If you love this video and you want to inspire others, please share it. And otherwise, please subscribe so you can be notified of our next video. Thank you so much, Annie, for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.